Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippyGaming. An early happy Halloween to you all. Today we're going to be talking about the latest state of the game for October 2021. So, if you've never seen one of these before, what exactly is the state of the game? Well, it's a blog post put together by Realogic each and every month with a little bit of news about every version of Terraria that's in active development. Now, be warned, because the news we're talking about today is news that we've actually covered either recently or some time ago. But if you've not been listening to the news, this is going to be a really good recap, because if you haven't heard, next month in November, we are getting a brand new Terraria update, and it looks like it's going to be a really good one. So very quickly, before we jump into that, you may be able to tell that the channel is in the final push for 1 million subscribers. And if you're watching this today, do me a solid and just check that you're still subscribed to the channel, because over time, YouTube may unsubscribe you. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later. All right, now let's actually talk about the news. So starting off with PC news, this is what Realogic had to say this month. In case you missed the big reveal last week, we are doing the second major crossover update in the history of Terraria. This time with the long-running hit indie survival game, Don't Starve Together. Our good friends at Clay Entertainment have been hard at work in parallel with the team at Realogic in order to make sure both sides of this crossover are worthy of the fan bases and authentic to the gameplay of each of these amazing titles. As you can tell from the above GIFs, we are swapping terrifying foes. What else might be making the journey to Don't Starve Together and vice versa? Well, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer to find out. Stay vigilant, Terrarians, for the life in the constant can be quite harsh indeed. So I'll be honest, I've yet to play a considerable amount of Don't Starve Together, so I really don't know what they're going to add from Terraria to Don't Starve other than what we've already seen. But I do know my Terraria. So what we've seen so far is the deer clops screaming at you in the ice biome. Now, I actually asked my community page not too long ago what exactly you think this might be. And a lot of you were kind of saying along the lines of, you don't think it will be just a mini boss, because the deer clops is quite a special thing. It only appears once a year in Don't Starve Together. So a lot of you are theorizing that this might actually be a whole event, kind of like the Dungeon Defenders 2 crossover. I don't really know. I kind of think that they could integrate this quite nicely into a regular Blizzard, kind of like an ice golem, you know, to flesh out the mini event. But you lot disagree. So if you do have your own theory, let me know in a comment down below. As for Don't Starve Together, well, I still plan to do some live streams of that pretty soon to learn more about the game, because I kind of want to cover Don't Starve Together and Terraria when the update drops. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, as for console Terraria, as you all know, recently console received the Terraria 1.4 update, but they do have a quick little update to say. Greetings, Terrarians. Last time we checked in, we were just about to release Journey's End for Xbox and PlayStation. What a month it's been since then. Let's take a moment to check in on the progress made on your feedback and bug reports, as well as a glimpse into what lies ahead. Now, I'm not going to cover all the little bug reports, but essentially it seems like they've been trying to squash as many bugs as possible. And a big thing is that they've actually been overhauling the controls, to my understanding. I don't feel like people kind of meshed with them quite as quickly as they wanted to. So I do believe that they've added some old controller options that people might be more used to. I don't play console too much, so you lot would probably know a little bit more about that than I do. They did go on to say the team is feeling pretty good about the state of things after the patch from last week. But we know a handful of bugs and issues are still wandering out there in the wild. We have most of these documented. Again, the best way to make sure your issue is seen is to file a bug report on the Terraria Forums bug section. We are, of course, aware of larger things. Keyboard and mouse needs optimization, online plus split screen multiplayer, and a few other things to name a few. And we still plan to have another fix wave or two down the road, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for your feedback and reporting during the launch. Now though, we get to talk about my favorite version of Terraria that isn't PC, the Nintendo Switch. So what do they have to say? In parallel, the team at DR is hard at work on the nuances required to get Terraria Journey's End out on Nintendo Switch. The good news behind the scenes is that all of the fixes we have implemented for the Xbox and PlayStation will be there day one for Switch players. Definitely a win-win there for everyone. Of course, we are sure you want to take a glimpse of what might be going on. right? Well, here's a few snaps from recent testing, Moonlord dying, his bestiary entry, and a bit of touch mining. Before anybody asks, I like to play with as much space as possible, so I shrunk/zoomed my UI pretty small. This is all adjustable. In terms of timing, we're starting to hone in on what things will look like. We are confident in that the game will be submitted to Nintendo this year. When or not we will see a launch to players will really come down to the results of that submission process amidst the complication of the impending holidays. We want to be sure to get it out as quickly as possible to players, but also in a timeline that allows us to be able to quickly respond to any launch issues as we did with the Xbox and PlayStation. We expect to be able to share more details on this very soon, but as always, we want to be 100% certain of things before giving dates. Stay tuned. So to round off the news, we have a little bit of news about mobile Terraria. Now, as I've been saying for quite a few months now, the plan was always get console 1.4 out and then go back to mobile to work on 1.4.1. So let's see what they had to say. Hello everyone, mobile Terrarians. We are growing ever closer to the return to development, this time alongside our console friends. The team is eagerly anticipating jumping headlong into bringing content parity to all platforms in the new year. We just need to get Switch out and stable first, not much longer now. We have also been made aware of some issues impacting some players in regards to Android 11. The team will be looking into this shortly, and we will get any needed fixes out just as soon as possible. So that's it for this month's State of the Game. A pretty good one, really. I'm personally excited about that Terraria update. So the reason why I say it's probably coming out in November is because if you remember in my last news video, Clay Entertainment did say that the crossover will likely be like sorted out or rounded up sometime next month, meaning November. So that's when I think they plan to release it, which would be awesome. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, because we're going to be talking about all that when we get any more information. So that's it for today's video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, give it a big fat thumbs up. But that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.